Welcome, team. Episode 3.
So guys,
Far out.
it's been a while.
We're both sick, Alwin, man. What's
Bro,
going
I was
on, man?
knackered.
Damn.
I was knackered on. So when we were gonna shoot Thursday night,
Yeah.
I went to work, and everything was fine until like 4 p.m. I think 4 p.m. Yeah, around 3:34. I felt like my body just got heated out of nowhere, and it's not necessarily like a cold. It was just fever. I could feel when I was training my clients, I had this, right?
Yeah.
And after it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. And I actually came home and I went straight to bed. I had to text Nash and say, like, we have to just hold on to the podcast. I can't do it like this. So Nash gave me a day to recover. Am I right, Nash? Yeah, Friday.
Yeah.
You told me.
Oh, Friday. Oh, Friday, Saturday. I said Saturday would probably work better. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you got sick on Saturday.
Yeah, bro.
Today is Monday, by the way. We usually shoot our podcast on Thursdays.
Thursday night, yeah.
Thursday night, I say it's already, all afterwards. So what happened to you?
Bro, I got sick on Friday night, we, just, I don't know. I was catching up with some people simultaneously, and then all of a sudden, I get home on Friday night, and then I go, man, my throat feels a bit weird. And then my nose started running. And then when I go to sleep, I was, it was quite soft. It's quite light. And then on Saturday morning, bro, I wake up and I try to talk and basically no voice. I had no, I was shocked, man. And I couldn't stop coughing, and my nose was going off, and it was just everything, bro. The man flu, incomplete.
So you actually got the flu. I didn't get the flu. I got the fever out of nowhere.
Oh wow, yeah, bro. So missed
because I was actually expecting like a flu.
Yeah,
it was just fever, bro. Pure sick fever.
I think for me it was something. Yeah, I don't know, like. Yeah, I missed. So I couldn't do anything on Saturday. I was basically in bed all day on Saturday. Yesterday as well, I missed church. We've got our big church conference this week. So I'm very fortunate that I'm going to be able to attend it, because the original date was supposed to
Friday.
It starts on Thursday night. The original date was supposed to be this weekend that just passed. So. If it was that, then I would have missed the entire conference, bro. So very fortunate.
Man, that's crazy. Is Alistair coming, bro?
yeah, bro. Yeah, he will be.
He's coming on Thursday.
Yeah,
is he?
He will be, bro.
I think he's gonna watch the podcast.
He better watch it, man. We've just given him a shout out.
he better be at church. Alistair.
Better be at church, Alistair, my man.
Yes.
I love that guy.
Well, that's
man.
good, man.
Love that.
It's
guy.
good that you're recovering.
Yeah. No, yeah, I'm all fine now. I mean, still feeling a little bit, but nothing compared to what it was over the weekend. What about you? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm back to 100% now.
Good.
I took about 2 days off training.
Oh, good.
Just on Friday I felt fine, but I just didn't want to risk anything.
Yeah.
Just wanted to just keep my body 2 days off and just go back to training on Saturday. So my Saturday training ended up about 2 hours, because I was doing arms and shoulders.
Oh, damn.
I know. That's quite a lot. I didn't expect to be in the gym for 2 hours.
Yeah.
I usually don't like to train for 2 hours, bro. I just don't know how it went.
It goes fast.
Yeah. It went very fast. I started around 6 and I finished literally around 8, like 7:58 on there. Yeah. Damn. And that's only arms and shoulders. I was just doing too many sets and exercises. How's your phase going, Nash? How's your so we're starting prep when? November, is that right?
November, bro. Yeah. So yeah, training's still going really well, bro. I mean, still training hard and training heavy as per normal. Eating.
Yeah, I saw your 7-plate. Is it 7-plate T-bar?
Yes, 7.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Man, I can't do that.
How much can you, what's yeah. Oh, bro, that's good.
My max is like my max is like 5.5.
5.5.
6 touching. Yeah.
Yeah, my max is my max, the most I can do is actually 10, so 220 kgs, but I don't want to do that because I'm going for I'll only be able to do 3 or 4 reps on that, whereas 160 kg can do 10 to 12, which is what you need to do, what I'm wanting to do though, to get stronger, man. You're not going to get much progress if you just do
Yeah, well, the thing is that you don't have to do that much, you know what I mean? That's just asking for injury.
Yeah, exactly.
Like for me, the 5 squat, 5.5 is good.
Yeah.
If I feel the back, and it's a good place to be. Yeah. Anything more than that, I try to swing too much and use everything that I can.
Yeah, bro. Exactly.
So I'm not really a big fan of that, but yeah, that was good, bro. It was a good video.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah.
So comp prep, man. Going to talk about our competition history.
So today's topic we are talking, guys. We're going to talk about comp prep, our history, etc. So where do you want to start, Nash?
Let's, bro, talk about. I can start actually talking about just our history around competing. I know we covered it a little bit in our first episode, what got us into bodybuilding, and I actually really thought even last week's episode with Anthony really inspired us. I can speak for myself. I was pretty inspired going forward with when I compete next time. That guy's got he's got a Dwayne Johnson mindset, bro. It's crazy.
100%. Yeah, of course.
So for me, bodybuilding is a big passion of mine, and I'm sure we've talked about that in quite a bit of depth in the last few episodes. And one of the biggest things that I've always seen with my competition prep is the fact that it's not just about eating and training. There's so much that I've had to consider and have to address before I start my competition prep. And I'll give you an example. When I took competing seriously, I competed in 2016, but I did that quite last minute. I don't recommend anyone does that. It was a pretty disorganized way of doing it. And
so, who was your coach then?
It was a friend of mine from Hamilton, who was my coach. So that's when I met Terrell Price, who became quite a good friend of mine actually. And he recommended I go to my coach at the time, Champion Nutrition, and Taryn changed my perspective on nutrition and training in terms of the attention to detail side of things. And and when I'm saying there's so much more other than training and eating, the things that I had to take into consideration that I didn't at the time was budgeting, and the fact that you have to, putting money aside in order to compete. It's not just going to happen on your next pay slip or whatever, because that's a lack of wisdom. I had to be quite diligent with how I'm spending my money. Things such as having conversations with, at the time I was single, so family and friends as well, just around, gatherings that were happening in the lead up to the comp. I think with about 8-9 months out, it was not so bad because it wasn't that often that gatherings were happening and stuff. But when I was about 3-4 months out, and when you're starting to dial it down and stuff, there was a lot of conversations that I was having with some family members, particularly my mum, who's an amazing cook, just around food that I couldn't eat, and having to sort of adjust the way. And my mum was quite gracious in the fact that she still did the whole meal prep side of things, but it was food that was within my nutrition and within my dieting side of things, and I was able to still have fun and stuff, but also stay committed to my nutrition. And I saw that with the result of my competition. I ended up coming second in that competition actually. So all of that, plus now that I'm married, now the conversations that I'm having with my wife, and even last year when it came to competing, and my wife is also somewhat into fitness as well. So the way we sort of budget our food is very much around the healthier side of food. We don't go out eating takeaways all the time. In fact, I think we only do that maybe once a week. And even then, it's not even eating out. We just buy from the supermarket and make it at home. So like that attention to the attention to detail around that side is something that, you know, that I've had to take into consideration, and I will be taking into consideration for my competition next year. It's interesting that a lot of people tend to miss that when they want to compete. I get questions all the time from people saying, oh bro, I'm really keen to compete. And I'm asking them, you know, have you thought about things other than training and eating? Because it's going to take more than just that. You look at professional athletes. Like we just had the Euro final last week between England and Italy, and those players, man, they're some of the best players in the world. They don't just go and play football. They're practicing. They're assessing their sleep, assessing what they're eating. They're sacrificing time. You know, yes, they get paid a lot of money, but they're sacrificing a lot that we do not see. All that attention
100%.
to detail is contributing to what they're becoming. So all that attention to detail that is on my side is contributing to the physique that I end up presenting on competition day. And those are the things 100%. That people need to consider. So yeah, that's the sort of the first side of things that I was probably keen to cover. What about you, bro? What about on your end? What's something that you had to take into consideration that is probably often missed at times?
Bro, budgeting 100%. People don't understand that that plays a huge part. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. If you don't know, because for example, if you're doing a 16-week prep, right? Like I said, 20-week prep, you need to hire a coach, and that's going to cost you money. You know, the plans that they give you, that's going to cost you money. And then after that, you got to get your food every single week. It's going to cost you money. On top of that, you got supplements. That's going to cost you money. On top of that, you need to check in with your coach. That's going to cost you money. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then on top of that, you got your show day tan. You got to get your trunks.
Yeah.
You got to register to the federation. You have to register to the whatever the class you're doing. Some people do 1 class, 2 class. So you're easily talking more than $1,000, $2,000 just going out for a prep, right? Now this is just doing natty. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like just natty. Now when you add PEDs into it, now it's even doubling the amount.
Yeah.
Because then you got your test or whatever, you know, you got your test, your train, your whatever you to mean. Some of the guys take like a chemifest, you know what I mean? You know, no one's going to talk about their cycles, but you know, let's be honest, there's so many guys out there who are taking so much gear, and there are other guys who are taking just a little, you know?
Yeah.
But if you say you're going to do that on top of that, is you're easily talking way more than 5-6 grand on a cycle.
Exactly.
I mean, on an entire prep. I saw this article, or I saw this thing on YouTube the other day, where one of the pro bodybuilders, they were talking, and they said just their cycle itself cost them more than $10,000 to $15,000 a prep. I don't know if it's true or not.
Wow.
But apparently it cost him more than anywhere between 10 to 15,000. This is the top guys, one of the top guys back in the day.
Wow. And that's US dollars, eh? Or
that's US dollars.
Wow.
So people don't understand, like, budgeting means everything. I remember when I did my first competition, this is back in 2016 when I started the prep. It was you know, my former coach Jeremy gave me the plan. That was when I was about 21 then, 2021, something like that. He gave me the plan, and then I remember he gave me the plan, and then I saw the plan. I was like, "Oh, this is easy." Do you know what I mean? I was 21, turning 22. He gave me the plan, and I was like, "Oh, this is easy. This is not right, legit, not right." Yeah. A 21-year-old guy. I remember Shane was with me. Shout out to Shane. Shane's actually my client now. He's prepping with me.
Awesome.
So I'm coaching him for our next competition, which is next year. So shout out to Shane. Shane was only 16 years old then. So Shane, me and Shane train. you know, and we went to Countdown, and literally I was just getting the food, bro. And I went to the counter, and it was $250.
Wow.
Okay. Now, prior to that, I have never spent that much in my life because my mom always cooked the food.
Yeah. Yeah.
or if I did my own food, it would probably max cost me $50.
Yeah.
All right. I went to the car and I looked at Shane. I was like, Shane, how the heck am I gonna do this for the next 10 months, bro? I am spending $250 every week, man.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, I was single back then as well. You know, I wasn't married, I didn't have a girlfriend, nothing like that, you know. And it actually got cheap after that. It came up to like 180 every week because obviously you had to get all the food and you didn't have, you didn't need that much of food after that every week. So I kind of budgeted out between anywhere between 150 to 180, you know, which is fine. But like, you don't understand, like, you know, I had to be on top. Literally, like I had to like have in my head, like I have this much to do. I have to spend this much. This much is gonna cost with my coach.
Yeah.
You know, I was really spending about $400 on supplements. You know, actually, you know, shout out Roger because Roger actually gave me like a free type of protein. You know, every month of 6 weeks, he used to give me a free type of protein because I used to give them shout outs on, you know, Facebook and stuff. So he would give me a free type of protein. So that actually saved me quite a bit of money.
Cool.
But other than that, it still cost me about anywhere between, I remember, $250 to $350, $100 a month, which is quite a bit. You know, you understand, you times that for about 8 to 10 months. That's a lot of money, you know?
Yeah.
This is like when I first started. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now, as you said, now I'm married as well, you know, so, you know, we both have wives but, you know, budgeting is very important when it comes up to a prep because you understand there are other stuff you need to get. And now it's even, now I'm putting all my money into my business. So it's even more, you need to be even more organized when you start competing. So, bro, budgeting is a huge thing. You should understand all the time how to budget. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you start competing.
Yeah. I think another thing as well is why you're doing it. You know, and
oh yeah, that's a good topic. Easily.
Yeah, why you're doing it, you know. Like even Anthony, what he was saying last week, with there's a lot of people that are just doing it to boost the ego, and there's the people that don't last.
I have met plenty of them.
Yeah. Unfortunately, same here. And you know, that's actually in some way that's actually dishonoring the sport. Because the art of
100%.
Bodybuilding, you look at some of the greatest bodybuilders that have ever existed: Ronnie Coleman, Sean Ray, Flex Wheeler, Phil Heath, Arnold Schwarzenegger, you know, to name a few, Dexter Jackson, all those people. All those people had quite somewhat a long career. Yes, Arnold ended up going to Hollywood and stuff, but a lot of, you know, the rest of the guys all had some great careers, including Arnold himself. And, you know, they had long careers that were fruitful. They won a lot of contests or came second or whatever, top placing in the world, whatever years that they did. And you know, you look at all their careers, you look at their training, you look at, you know, you look at that through the videos that you see on YouTube. And for those listening, you're welcome to go watch on YouTube those videos and stuff. None of it came from an ego perspective. You know, yes, there was the trash talk inside of things, but they all had a vision in mind to be the best bodybuilder in the world, to be Mr. Olympia, and they achieved that. I know Sean Ray didn't win on Olympia, but he won Arnold Classic and stuff.
No. Oh yeah, Sean Ray.
Yeah, Sean Ray. Yeah, he came second to Dorian. I think, was it twice?
Yeah,
twice.
I think twice.
Yeah.
I think it was 94 and 95. I think
94, 95.
It's either 93, 94 or 94, 95. I can't remember either two. But I know 94 he was second.
94, 95, because 96 was Dorian won, but I think Nasir Al-Sambati came second.
That's right.
Yeah.
And 97 again, it was Nasir somebody.
Yeah, and then Ronnie started in 98.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Sean Ray was 94, 95.
Oh, yeah.
I know it was for sure 94.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe 93, 94 or 94, 95.
Yeah.
Either two.
Man, damn, what a generation.
That's the year I was born. Me and you both. Hey,
same. Yeah, 94.
you were
Yeah,
born in 94.
94.
Yeah.
You look at those guys, man, and they all had a very big drive towards that vision to win Olympia. They utilize their training, they utilize their nutrition. They didn't do it to boost their ego. Not at all.
No.
Like you would not, you hear stories. Dorian Yates is retired, and he's been retired for ages, and he does not. Whenever you see interviews, there's an interview with him with Patrick Bay-David from Valuetainment. There is no ego there.
No, 100% not.
Sean Ray is commentating a lot of the Olympia competitions. No, he's a very good critique of physiques, but there's no sign of a ego thing or anything like that. Yes, he gets his criticism sometimes, but a lot of it is pretty objective. And you don't see any signs of egos. It's interesting when you see a lot of people competing, and there's no why. It's just deep down inside is so they get a lot of those likes on Instagram or Facebook, when that's actually dishonoring the sport. It's not honoring the sport in any way.
Well, those are the people that don't last as well,
Yeah,
they don't last
absolutely.
a long time.
Yeah,
because they, as you said, you're so right. It's more. This is, if you're gonna do this for your ego boost, I'm sorry, you ain't gonna last no longer in the sport.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This has to purely come from your heart and your passion.
Yeah.
When I did 4 back-to-back shows last year, people were like, oh, you're doing too much. Your body's running down. Calm down. And I do agree with that 100%, It did affect my look some sort of, well, no, it actually did affect my look a lot. But I just had that drive and that fire that I want to get it done. You know what I mean? If I didn't have that fire and that drive, why would I would never do it 4 back-to-back shows. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You really have to be someone's pretty much crazy to keep on going like that.
Yeah.
And you can't do that with an ego.
Yes.
It's not going to happen.
Absolutely not.
It's not going to happen. So, dude, you have no idea how many people I met, man. Like,
same.
I'm going to do a competition. It's not this, right? It goes like this. I'm going to do a competition. Okay.
Why?
And then,
yeah.
Well, they just want to do a competition because they see all this, whatever, right?
Yeah.
On Instagram, he looks good, she looks good, whatever, who looks good. All of a sudden, then they understand, oh my gosh, this is hard.
Yeah, exactly.
This is hard. So guess what? All of them make some sort of bullcrap excuses, and then they drop out.
Yeah.
Because they find out how hard, bro, you have no idea how many people I've met like that.
Yeah.
Same. Oh, when I'm going to do a show, in another 6 months. Oh, when I'm going to do a show next year. And then they start the prep. They're like, this shit's hard.
Yeah.
I can't do this.
Yeah.
Why? Because they thought, I'm going to let my ego take over and see what these people can do. And boom, they just pull out.
Yeah.
At the last, well, not at the last minute. They don't even do the halfway through.
No,
well,
bro.
some people actually go more than halfway and then they quit.
Yeah.
For all sorts of reasons. Okay. Other people just start and then they're done. They can't even carry. Some people actually do the shows, right? They do it and then they come out of a show. They gain like 10 kilos after a show, after a week eating like pigs, right? Right?
Yeah.
And then after that, 2-3 months later, I'm going to quit bodybuilding because it gave me an eating disorder.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry.
Wow.
The fork didn't come and tell you need to eat.
What an example that is.
The fork is right there. It's not going to tell you, eat me, eat the cake.
Yeah, good.
There's cheesecake inside. You need to eat, or is no.
Yeah.
You decide yourself. I'm going to take the damn fork out there.
Bro.
I'm going to open the massive cake and I'm going to eat it. It was your choice. Do you know what I mean?
And I think that's I think that's, to be honest, I think that's also the story of the world we live in these days, where it's the victim mindset is very much glorified at times. And, when these things happen, it's like, yes, there's some legitimate, and we're not saying there's no legitimate, because there has been stories of people having disorders from what maybe coaches have shared with them, and that's different. But if there's if it's self-inflicted, like the example you just gave, then that's
It,
not on
it,
this.
it bro, it happens because of the ego-driven
Yeah,
mindset. Look, I've done plenty of shows in my life, right?
yeah,
Okay. Okay. I have had good seasons. I've had bad seasons, right?
yeah,
Okay. The only show that I actually binged very hard was my first show. It's because I didn't know, right? Okay. But after that, I knew if I keep on doing this, it's very bad on your health, on your hormones, all that stuff, right? Okay.
yeah,
You can control. You can control. It's called willpower, right? You
yeah,
can control. And I have after my recent show, I controlled for like, man, for so long. In fact, I never ever binged. It's because of the mindset, right? I don't go to stage of being like, oh my gosh, like, everyone's gonna watch me. I'm Alvin, people are gonna praise me. Dude, I don't give two craps. I do this for me.
yeah.
Do you know
Good.
what I mean?
Wow.
Because I love this. I don't care if people praise me. Man, there are people, some other people might think I'm a shit bodybuilder. Some people might think I'm great. I don't care. It doesn't affect me at all. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
Because this is not about an ego thing. I don't care if people praise me or not. I do this, it's because I love this. The moment I am like, you know what? The fire's not there anymore. I'm not like how I used to be. That's it. I'm gonna call it quits. That's what
Yeah,
you call where your ego mind would always keep on just, you know, finding ways to go and do it, and then they'll blame the sport or they'll pull out or they just do it for all sort of crap reasons.
yeah. Wrong foundations.
So,
Yeah, the wrong
exactly. And there are
foundations.
so many people out there like
Yeah,
that. And I mean, don't get me wrong, there are really good athletes out there as well. I mean, I know this is not just, we are actually, guys, this is not about the athletes who are like, who do this for the passion. I know so many athletes out in New Zealand have really good intentions. They are doing it for the right mindset, and that's why they're going far. And I know so many people like that as well. And kudos to them. I think they're going to do well. We're talking about the people who actually do it for the ego mindset. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Another thing as well. Another thing that's you know, I actually asked this. I've actually asked a lot of people this question: is the perception of competing outside of the outside of the bodybuilding world. And one of the biggest questions that I got last year when I competed was, um, like what is what do you do? What happens? What's the process behind competing? What are you doing on the day? What are you doing what are you doing in preparation, even in the lead up to the competition? I remember when my wife came to watch the competition last year, and
Yeah.
she was pretty shocked that I was only there. Ended up being on stage only for about 5 to 10 minutes. It's
Yeah.
normally the process, and then obviously the prize giving at the end and stuff. But um, it's good. It'll be good for us to maybe talk about it with a lot of people that for those that are quite new to it, and maybe just give them a bit of an understanding of what to expect, the preparation. Do you want to start us off, bro? Since I
Yeah,
started with that one.
well, of course. Well, the preparation, it depends, right? Like I think people always wonder what's the best diet, what's the best training, all this stuff, getting ready for a competition. Seriously, guys, there's nothing called the best. It whatever works for you. Do you know what I mean? The clients that I prep, as I said, some are on high calories, some are on low calories, some are on, heavy, high intensity weight sessions. Some are, some like they're low volume, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Okay, there's no best training or there's no best diet when you
Good.
start a prep, right? A preparation is what works for you at the end of the day. So what you literally have to expect is that when you first start a competition, if you do like a 20-week prep, right, you're gonna understand that when you first start a diet, your body is gonna take some time to get hold of the diet. Do you know what I mean? Like the first 4 to 6 weeks, you're gonna drop heaps of weight. Well, it depends. You might not. It depends on the
Depends
individual,
on your
right?
body. Yeah.
Exactly. Some people don't, some people do. But usually you should be, like it's actually very common for a body to drop so much when you start a prep because you're holding so much water. And when the first 3-4 kilos, sometimes 5 can be pretty much water. After that, then boom, your body gets into that fat mode, and starts losing more, when it starts, losing weight, that means your body's burning more fat, all that good stuff, right?
Yeah.
What you should expect is that, like it really depends on the prep, Nash. Throughout the prep, you're gonna notice that, your body's gonna get leaner and leaner, all that stuff. And some people do expect when they come up to the 10-week mark, if they've had like a 20-week prep, that your strength is still high, but not as high as it was before. Some people has the strength no matter what, so it all comes down to individual. Me personally, during the 10-week mark, I'm like around like 85% or maybe like 80% of my strength, right?
Yeah.
And as you go down towards the 2 weeks mark, it's just like, bro, like it's very hard for me to lift because my body's so low in body fat that it's so hard for me to even, like lift. I do lift, don't get me wrong, but it is not as easy when you start a prep when you're in 20 weeks out. Your energy becomes very low as the prep progresses. Your sex drive becomes very low. That's the last thing in your mind. Your mood swings. You don't want to have conversations with people. You don't want to talk to people. That's the last thing in your mind. All you want to do is just train, sleep, go to the gym, and just go to work. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
So those are the stuff where in the preparation, that's what you can expect. This is because, guys, you understand, you're taking your body to a point where it's starving. Do you know what I mean? So it is really like trying to survive every single moment after that period where you've cut so much body fat where your body doesn't even want you to be that much,
lean.
That lean. Your body just doesn't want to be that lean at all. So you're gonna have hunger. You're gonna have your hunger hormones are going throughout the roof. You're gonna be hungry all the time. It's because you're so lean. Your body's like, what are you doing to me? Feed me, feed me, feed me. That's what it's saying, right?
Yeah.
Because your body's really in a starvation mode. It's just trying to survive. But that's what you should be expecting when you try to get ready for a competition.
Yeah.
That level of leanness body's not designed to be that lean.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
Ever. Do you know what I mean? It is not. No. So when people say is bodybuilding a healthy sport, 100% not. I don't care if you're doing it naturally, PEDs, it is not. But the reason why we do it is because we want to challenge ourselves and see how far we can push it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what you should be expecting on a preparation, of course, depending on the coach that you hire, you might have a smooth prep, you might have a hard prep, you might have there's no easy preps. It's just not, if you're doing an easy prep,
absolutely not.
Then you're not
did it
prepping.
Wrong. You're not prepping.
Yeah.
I don't consider that. If you're doing an easy prep, you're not prepping.
No, of course not. Like, when people are, I feel good 3 weeks out. I'm like,
no.
Oh, I'm a little bit worried then. I'm a little bit worried that you're going to stage. You know what I mean?
Do you remember when I messaged you 3 weeks out going, bro?
Yeah. Bro, right now I'm prepping a guy called JJ. I think you see him on my Instagram.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
He looks only 20 years old. Bright future head. This guy puts another 5, 6, 7 kilos of muscle in the coming years.
That's
little by little. Bro, he's gonna have amazing future in the physique division, right? Bro, his posing he's just a unique guy, Like, wow. Shout out to JJ. I'm actually looking forward to seeing JJ in 3 weeks out, whenever we go watch the show. Bro, he comes in for check-ins, right? And literally like past week check-ins like this.
Yeah.
Like, oh. It's like, I'm like, JJ, you all right, man? It's like, oh, bro, I'm sorry for being like this. I said, no, I know exactly how you are. Trust me.
Normal.
Like, I know exactly how you feel. This is how you should be feeling. That means, but when he takes his shirt off, bro, you saw it on my gram, and he's just gonna keep on better and better. Exactly. It's coming 2.5 weeks. Now that's how you should be feeling. You know, he doesn't even have energy to talk to people. He has no energy to even, he's like, oh, my parents are doing my head in. I was like, whoa, you need to calm down, right? I was in that situation too. Like the last thing I wanted to talk was with my parents. But if you don't want to talk to them, just tell them, look, 3 weeks out, this is what you should, because you don't understand, parents, like when I was prepping, man, my parents are like, what's up with this guy? Like, is he okay? Like, why is he doing all this hard work to be a little, you know, to be a little shithead kind of thing? You know what I mean?
Fair enough.
Yeah. So my mom comes up to me, she's like, this is not, if this is a sport, then you should probably think of something else. Because I have never seen any sport, which people get moody, because in their mind you should be excited. They don't know you're dieting to this extent, right?
Yeah.
But that's where you should try to explain to them and be like, look, this is what it is.
The
this
nature
is
of
how
the sport.
you should be.
Yeah.
I know it's way different than any other sport. But hey, I was going to ask you, do you actually call bodybuilding a sport?
Yes, I think it is.
Yeah?
But it's also an art.
Look, like I can't, dude. Like,
what are your thoughts?
Dude, let me be honest, right? Like for years, I was saying it's a sport. But my mate Mendes, right? I always put on my Instagram.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not going to tell the other word because
yeah.
All right. So Mendes, he was like, so we had this argument. We always argue, right? That says my best friend.
Cool.
We always argue, but we always argue in a good way. But he always said, bro, bodybuilding is not a sport. Like, how can it be a sport when there are 4 people judging you on the day and everyone has different opinions on you? Because you need to understand there are 4 or 5 judges, right? Whoever gets the most votes on the day wins the show. So if 3 judges like you and 2 don't, then you win. But if 3 don't like you, 2 don't, then the other guy wins. Sorry, if 3 don't like you and 2 likes you, then the other
it's basically the one. It's basically the one. The winner is usually the one who gets critiqued the least, I guess. But,
So in my opinion, I'm like, that kind of makes, because look, like soccer, right? If you're playing soccer, you're going like, yeah, I'm gonna perform well. There's no one saying, hey, you're gonna win today. Like there's no one's deciding. Like when I say no one's judging you, right? Like if you play cricket or if you're in a fight, say you're fighting a dude, right?
But fighting is the same, because boxing. If you look at fighting,
but it's by points.
Yeah,
it's by points. Where bodybuilding, like me and you can compete together. One judge might like you, the other 3 might not like me, right?
Yeah.
Or 3 might like you, 2 might like me, so you win. So it's a personal opinion at the end of the day.
Don't you get it? But what about the whole preparation towards it? Because you are doing physical,
that's what I mean.
Physical activity.
That's what I mean. So what I told him, I was like, you performing in the gym, that part is a sport.
Yeah.
Where when you go on stage and flex, I was kind of like, okay, that's a sport as well. But that's what I mean. I think exactly. Because I'm kind of confused, because I'm like, okay, well, he does make some sense. Like, but I was like, look, training in the gym, because he was trying to argue with me and be like, oh, bro, everyone trains. I said, bro, everyone is different. Trust me, when a bodybuilder trains for gym, it's so much more different than an average human being. You have no clue what we go through in that gym. Like, trust me, man. Sometimes I have anxiety training legs. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, same.
On a prep, because I'm like, oh my gosh, it's gonna hurt today. In fact, I have anxiety training legs anyway.
Yeah.
Because I know I'm gonna just smash myself out. I get like butterflies inside, because you want to perform well in the gym and have a good workout,
Yeah.
Like even now I'm kind of having butterflies because I got back after this, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm like, what am I gonna do? Because that's the different mindset of a bodybuilder and a normal human being, where some people go to the gym and like, oh, it's a stress relief. Yeah, of course it's a stress relief, but when you're training for a competition, it's very different than that. The preparation for me is the sport.
Yeah.
On stage, do I think it's a sport? I don't know.
No,
I really don't know. I don't think
so. I do think maybe the sports side of things is still applicable. It's still applicable on stage because of the competition. Like you are.
That's what I mean. Yeah,
it's the competition.
That's
side.
what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then in that case, then are you saying America's Got Talent is a sport?
No,
Because
no, that's
that's
an
what I
art,
mean.
that's an artistic show, and I think that's probably
Exactly.
where the show itself for bodybuilding maybe lies. But if you think about it, like look at muscle and strength, the majority of their
Yeah.
stuff is actually not like they cover a lot of bodybuilding stuff, and the majority of their content is not actually the show. Yes, they do have bodybuilding shows sometimes, but a lot of it is someone's, you know, um, like for instance, I watched one the other day of Hunter Labrada's um, day of training and eating, whatever. And the training and eating, that's very much applicable in not obviously not in the same context, but like you eat and you train to do something. Like you eat and you train to be to continue a professional football career or a rugby career, and that's the same thing with a bodybuilder. That's maybe the sport aspect to it.
I think that's the sport part to it.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
You training, you sticking to a diet, like having that daily schedule.
Yeah.
Is for sure, I reckon that for sure is this, because you're preparing for a show, right? You're prepping for a show.
Yeah.
So I think that part, like going to the gym right now, like if you're a bodybuilder, I feel like that part is a sport because you're training to become the best on stage, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a bit confusing. I don't know. But I feel like, I don't know if anyone's gonna agree with me. Some people will, some people will not. But I feel like the preparation leading towards the competition can be classified as a sport, right?
Yeah.
But on the day, it's a personal judge's opinion.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's why I tell my athletes, right? We're prepping guys. If you know you give 100% on that 20-week prep, you should be proud of yourself, regardless of the outcome. If you're peeled and if you're conditioned and you're looking good and you perform on stage, hey, that right there is a win. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you never know. There might be 5 judges. 3 might not like you, 2 might like you, and 3 might like the other guy, and the 2 might like you. So you're gonna lose. It's really based on a personal opinion at the end of the day. If me and you are judging a show, I might like the A guy and you might like the B guy.
Yeah.
And we might be arguing, yo, why? Because his lat insertions are this. But then I'll be like, but look at his structure. And then but you'll be like, yeah, but look at his hamstrings, Then I'll be like, yeah, but look at his glutes. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I think that's another thing for people to consider when they compete as well. That even that was a great question, by the way.
Yeah, I know it came out of nowhere.
Yeah, no,
I think the title. I think the title should be "Is bodybuilding a sport?"
It's like a side, like a side question.
I think you should 100%. Should do it.
But like, I think that's something important for people to consider, because what you just said. When people coming into go, when it comes to competing, like for instance, when I went into competition last year, because of I am very competitive. I'm sure you know that. You've seen that many times.
Bro, I'm very competitive as well.
100%.
People,
Yeah. And that's by nature. And I think for me, historically, it came from my younger brother and I always wanting to be better than each other. Like I actually learned how to defend, because he plays basketball. I learned how to defend basketball style, just so I can try and own him. But that was never a success. But I still learned to do it because I wanted to do better, and I wanted to also challenge him to be better. That never materialized in all. But even with football, I played as a goalkeeper from my school, and this is going back 9-10 years ago, and I would always watch like penalty shootouts, like even if it meant watching penalty shootouts from the 1980s or 90s from YouTube, because if we went into a penalty shootout, or if the other team had a penalty, I would have an idea of how the other person's going to take it. That was my competitive nature coming out. Even with the bodybuilding side of things, when people would say, I would actually get, and I still do, I would get upset being people going, oh, it doesn't matter how well you do on the day and all of that. I'm like, actually, no, it does, because I want to do really well. I want to come first. I want to win that title and all. I think that's something important for people to consider, understanding that at the end of the day, you do your best. I know I have to continually raise awareness within myself that you know, and that's something that I continually pray for as well. The wisdom around that is that I'm not placing emphasis too much on the fact that I have to be so competitive and I'm so gutted if I don't come first or whatever, you know. No, I'm not gutted. I'm gonna aim and I'm gonna go use all my competitive nature and be as diligent as possible towards getting that first place. But if it doesn't happen, be proud of the fact that I actually got onto that stage and managed to compete.
Exactly. Exactly.
I think even with last year, you were a really big help with that, because it was like, bro, you have to think about the fact that you still went and trained with bricks and with planks or whatever, and you still went and did cardio around the neighborhood instead of on the treadmill.
That's what I said, that
Yeah.
was only 80% of the look, you know.
Yeah,
you weren't even 100%.
Exactly. But you were telling me, bro, just be proud of the fact that you're on stage, because people pulled out, and people did pull out. Like I ended up being the only one in my class that competed, which was the story of the year. So the trophy that you can see in the back actually is the one that I got from the competition. That. So
that's mean.
Yeah, so yeah, it's something that people do need to be raised, maybe just to be aware of when it comes to competing. I think another thing as well is, and we touched on it earlier on, but actually just understanding that there is no excuse to be an absolute nutcase to your friends or your family or your wife or your girlfriend or whatever, or your boyfriend, you know, or your husband, all that. You know, you can't there is, yes, there's mood swings that you have. There's going to be times when you don't feel like you're not in the you're not in the mood to talk to anyone. I can relate. The last week I still turned up to my church events. I play music in my church, and I still turned up to our Sunday services. I still turned up to, if you know, the small groups that we had. No excuse whatsoever. I didn't say I can't make it because I've got my competition, so I'm not going to be in a good mood. I still turned up, and no one would have realized that I was not even close to being 100%. But I was feeling like, man, I really want to go to sleep because I'm really tired. But also at the same time, I had to understand that, you know, yes, I am doing this bodybuilding, and this is something that I'm passionate about, but it's no excuse for me to compromise the other things that are happening in my life. It's no excuse for me to start being an absolute tool to my wife, or to being to being
absolutely not
avoiding family or avoiding friends or anything like that.
100%.
You know, and that's something that people do need to be raised awareness of. And I understand that it's different for everyone and stuff. But even just if it means, you know, and I encourage the people listening to go and listen to what Anthony was saying around in our previous episode around, you know, the way he went about his relationship with his wife and his family. You know, yes, a lot of it had to do with his personality, but even then, you can still be absolutely nice to the people in your world. You can still be friendly. You know, people will understand if you're tired, but it doesn't mean that you're an absolute nutcase and have mood swings and have a go at someone at the gym or anything like that. There is no excuse for that, because at the end of the day, it's bodybuilding. You are not defined by that sport. You want to do well, but it's not going to be something that defines you, you know?
Exactly. I totally agree with that, man.
Yeah.
100% agree with that. Like, yeah, I mean, like, people need to understand that you need to consider this as well before starting a prep, you know? These things will happen to you.
Yeah.
So if you're up for that, and if you're willing to, that's what I mean. Like, it's more than training and dieting, right?
Yeah.
It's all these things plays a part when you want to go on stage. And this happens to pretty much every single individual. But, you know, amateur not that moody. Well, I can be moody, but amateur not that bad. Like my wife says, amateur not that bad at all. I do have my moments where, like, my max is like, I just want to watch TV and just be like, I just want to have a quiet, you know, like a quiet house. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when I'm prepping the last 4 weeks, like I just don't have time. Dude, like I don't even see my parents for like 12 weeks. Yeah,
wow. Actually. I didn't see mine for like 2 months.
Like
2-3 months.
Like I couldn't go to church. Like I'm heads off to you, but dude, the last 4 weeks I told all my leaders, because I'm in the band as well, you know. I tell them take me out. I can't,
Really?
but
Oh wow.
yeah, I couldn't. But my last prep, I think last year or the year before, I was actually playing until 2 weeks out on stage.
Really?
Yeah, 2 weeks out,
Wow.
and then I told my worship leader, bro, I think I'm just gonna take this couple of weeks off. He's like, yeah, I understand, because they all knew I was prepping, and it was coming into the crunch. And man, shout out to Elam Christian Center, where they supported me 100%.
Yeah,
Wow,
cool.
Pastor Mike, my worship leader Dan, who I used to play. I'm going to see him back, by the way, now. So I don't go to Elam anymore, but I have to give a massive shout out to those people, man. The church group themselves, they actually found me as such an inspiration to them, and they supported me so much, man. So I got to give a shout out to all those guys. Thank you so much, especially Pastor Mike. He was always asking me how the prep is going.
Cool.
Like, it's crazy. So thank you so much. But yeah, the last 2 to 4 weeks, man, sometimes I would not even go to church. I would just pray at home on Sundays and do my cardio. And then after that, I would not see my family for 12 weeks. I would not see my friends for like the last 10 weeks. I would literally isolate myself. It's just me, my wife, and that's all what I do at work. Wow. So look, everyone's different.
Everyone's different, yeah.
You need to understand, guys, a lot of people go through this because you're just gonna get into that zone where you just you literally don't care about anything else than the stage.
So we're being very brutally honest, hey. It's good.
No, I mean, like,
good.
Everyone wants to compete. Dude, everyone wants to compete. Like, I get clients. Bro, I want to compete.
I get friends all the time asking, and I'm going, yes, that's brilliant. If you want to compete, that'll be brilliant, bro. We need more bodybuilders.
100%.
But
we need a lot of bodybuilders, but we don't want bodybuilders abusing the sport.
Yeah.
Or whatever you call it.
To boost the ego.
Abusing the sport after they go on stage and saying, oh, bodybuilding gave me disorders.
No.
Or, my hormones. No, you either hired an absolute shit coach and he screwed up your health. Number two, or you just have no self-control and you just peeled it in for your egoistic, characters, or whatever, however you say it.
Egotistical.
Exactly. There you go. So either one of those. So so that's why I tell people, like, before they compete, think about it. Don't just jump in because, oh my gosh, I see a picture and this girl looks amazing. I want to look like you. Have no idea what that girl went through to get there. Oh, that guy looks 2% body fat. I want to look like that. You have no idea what he went through. You only see that picture and you want to be like that, right? You have no idea how much amount of work that he did. And on top of that, you have no idea how much dollars that he spent. Because let me be honest, bro.
Yeah.
Let me be honest.
It's not
like,
cheap.
this is the sport that you give all you can and you pretty much getting least amount.
unless even then, like, would you say that's the same for the top guys? Because they get paid millions and stuff.
I wouldn't say the top five, not the top five in the Olympia.
Okay.
Anything after that, you're getting pickles.
Yeah.
For the amount of work you put in.
Well, I saw the other day, I saw a bodybuilder, Wesley Vissers. Wesley Vissers, he got $500 for coming third place or something like that.
Yeah, I just saw that as well.
Yeah,
it was yesterday.
Yeah. Bro, that's nothing compared to how much he's,
Yeah, but you need to understand, how much is this guy spending for his cycle, bro?
Yeah.
Thousands of dollars. What? So he does all that. And he gets, let me be honest, Wesley is not just, he's got a good coaching business. He's got a good personal training.
He's not just earning that, but still, I think
he doesn't need bodybuilding.
I think we're speaking in the context of the prize money, because prize money. Bro, he's he's fine financially. He's great.
Sure. He's great. He's got a gym. He doesn't need bodybuilding to feed him. But yeah, $300 for a competition.
The 500, yeah, it's just
500.
Yeah.
Like, can you believe that?
Yeah.
These are top pros, bro.
Yeah, bro.
These are top pros in the country, in the world.
In the world. And you think about, you look at even the Olympia prize money, man. There's such a big gap between the open men's, and then you go down to classic physique. And I can't remember what the exact amount is for the classic physique first place, but it's nothing compared to the $400,000 that Big Ramy got last year.
Bro, Chris Bumstead only Bro, Chris Bumstead only gets $32,000, bro,
Well, there you go. $32,000, bro.
for coming number one
in the world.
in the world. This is in the world, bro.
Yeah.
Which sportsman? How much is LeBron getting, bro?
Bro, $32,000 per an hour or something. I don't know, bro.
How much is fucking? How much is LeBron? How much is who's the top sport? Who's the top cricketer? Virat Kohli.
Oh, millions, bro. He's IPL, isn't he?
IPL. How much?
Oh, bro.
Is,
even IPLs, their average salary is still so high, man. It's six figures, high six figures.
Dude, my mate Mendes, right?
Yeah.
He works with those IPL cricketers. Like he used to work with them. He used to go to India back and forth. And he knows how much these guys are making, bro.
Wow.
So compared to these bodybuilders, bro, these guys get pickles. Literally, they don't get nothing. Well, Phil Heath gets $400,000, right? Which is a huge amount.
That's a lot of money, man.
That's massive. But that's only the top 5 in the Olympia. So when you're from number 1 to 5, you're good. You are good. You are good, right? Yeah. But after 5 to like whatever it is, you're screwed.
Exactly.
Like Chris Bumstead, for him, he even told the other day, right? Like I was watching his interview just before. Go watch his interview with Dennis James. He was like, "Oh, I don't do it because because Dennis is, are you going to move to the, are you going to move to the open and all that stuff because the prize money is massive, right?" He's like, "Nah, I don't do it for money. I do it because I love it."
Yeah. Well,
he said, "Money is nothing for me." Obviously he's classic. Like when you have the title, Mr. Olympia Classic, classic physique number 1 or whatever, you are getting so much sponsorship. Like he's worth so much, he's earning so much. Like he doesn't need $32,000. Like he's just like, and
as a side,
he doesn't even need it.
Before I let you continue, as a side note, I get that feeling that because he's 26 years old, Chris Bumstead. I get that feeling. Yeah, bro, he's a year younger than us. I think I get that feeling that he's gonna be like Lee Haney and retire at like 31 and then sit it, because Lee Haney now has got businesses left, right, and center, man, and competitions. Exactly. I get that feeling that Chris Bumstead might do the same.
100%. So after the top 5 in the open, like these guys are not relying on. I mean, don't get me wrong, going to the Olympia, being a top pro. If you're a personal trainer like me or a coach, it helps your business spike up like crazy. These dudes have like thousands of clients. They train, they coach, so they don't need bodybuilding to make a living. They actually use that name to get a lot of money. So they are making crazy amounts of money just from their coaching businesses. I mean, Chris is not coaching. I'm just saying, like, literally, like, like there are some top pros out there, like you wouldn't even heard, like they're making a living out of their coaching business because it's that good. Like Chris Bumstead, just he's sponsored by so many good companies, so he's really getting paid thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars just by being sponsored and just by having the name Mr. Olympia Classic Physique, Wow. So yeah, it's like for me, like the reason why I competed all those years for me to build up a coaching business, and now I've done it. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's good to, coach all these guys of my experiences and, what I've gone through and, gain that knowledge. And trust me, that does help. Don't get me wrong. It helps you a lot. If you're going to build a business, like go hard, but if you're going to be like, oh, bodybuilding is going to make me rich. No, it's not going to happen.
No.
unless if you're top 5 in the Olympia.
And that'll be great. I mean, if you end up cracking that, then brilliant.
That'll be great.
Yeah,
but you gotta be a genetic freak,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a conversation for another day. But I think also, I think another thing. This is I'm loving this conversation because this is honesty right here. It's not sugarcoating anything. Bodybuilding, and with what we're sharing, it's not like, because Alwin and I both have a very big passion of bodybuilding. We can talk about bodybuilding for the whole day. Like
we can talk about for the next 6 hours. But,
for the next 6 hours, obviously we've got other things happening. But we're just we're just being straight up with the way that contest preparation is, and even I think about the sacrifices that I've had to make on my end, the game of opportunity costs, which is the next best alternative for gone when making a choice. And I think about what I've had to to alternatively give up in order to make the choice of continuing my contest prep. Things such as, with the diet things, the nutrition stuff that we just talked about. Even the way they go about training, even the training partners that I have, like there's certain people that I've actually purposefully said no to. Even now in the off season, there's a lot of people that hit me up to train to train with them and all of that. I'm always open to training with someone, if it's maybe a one-off or once every now and again. But if it's consistent, I want someone who is bigger than me and stronger than me, if possible, because that's going to be the person that pushes me, or somebody that is better than me in bodybuilding. Like, for instance, last year there was a guy that I had, one of my closest friends, Peter, who was my training partner last year, and actually also in 2017 and 2018. Bro, he is one of the strongest guys I have met, and he pushed me hard with training. A lot of times he would, and I don't recommend this because I am a man of God and stuff, but it really did rile me up. I get riled up very easily, and he would like call me words like, a lot of words that I won't repeat, but it would rile me up. It would rile me up to do that extra 5 reps or extra 6 reps, because I'm gonna, in my mind, exactly how you feel. I'm showing you how, but that's him pushing me. He would jump on and do twice as, or I don't know, more, and that would be pushing me to go, I need to work harder, because he's working hard and he's not even competing. Those are the kind of training partners that I'm seeking. Those are the kind of training partners that you're seeking as well. Yeah. Those are the kind of training partners that you need to seek.
My last prep, I trained with Jean.
Yeah.
And the prep before I trained with Jean for about 10 weeks. I can't remember. I trained with him for quite some time. And then I trained with Sean with the prep before. Sean was great. Jean was great as well. Both were great. But I know exactly what you mean. You need that partner to really push you harder.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you don't have that, like in 2017, I used to train with Bala. My man Bala.
Shout out to Bala, man.
You know Bala, right?
Yeah. Bro,
you know Bala.
He is one of the strongest dudes I have met. That guy was, he still is. He is still.
Do you follow him on Instagram?
Yeah, he is strong, man.
Yeah.
He is a strong dude.
Bala is the man. Yeah, Bala is the man. So shout out to Bala. Bala pushed for me and Bala, like, oh, bless him. Like, he would wait for me sometimes 30 minutes, because I used to work I still work in Constellation. I used to live in Newmarket back then. I used to train at City Fitness.
That's right.
Do you know what I mean? And I used to, this is before even I got married, I used to work here. I used to finish work here.
That's right, yeah.
And then I would go to all the way Newmarket. Sometimes Bala would do his powerlifting training in the morning.
Yeah.
And then he would meet me in the gym around 8 o'clock, but I'll be like 30 minutes late as usual. And he would just wait for me. So
I remember he would always be on his phone. Always, yes. Oh, you're waiting for Alwin. He's like, yeah, I remember that.
Oh, bless him. Seriously, such a nice guy, man.
Yeah.
Bala, you're the man, bro. Seriously, you're the man. So we would train for like 1.5 hours, bro, and we would kill it together, So, yeah. And he pushed me because he was so strong. Like, he's way stronger than me. But he was always inspired by my physique.
Yeah.
So we both had that motivation where he was stronger than me and he loves my physique. So we both pushed each other. Do you know what I mean? So yeah. It was so it was awesome to you need people like that.
Yeah, bro.
For you to train.
Exactly.
100%. So that's very important too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's wind this up, man. I think
wind us up.
Yeah. Let's see. What are 3 things? Well, bro, we got to cover this topic again at some point. What are 3 things? What are 3 things? 3 things that you can think of at the top of your head, that you can advise to the people listening around contest prep?
3 things. The most important 3 things.
Yeah. Oh, actually, no. Okay. Let's not make it 3. Make it 5. 5.
Okay. Just order or no order?
No order.
Okay. Number 1, coach. Find a coach that suits you, because not everyone's going to work for each other.
Yeah. Good.
You know? Just because he's the number one coach in New Zealand doesn't mean it's going to work for you.
Yeah.
Right? A lot of people have this, oh my gosh, he's the number one. He made him pro. He made 5 people pro, 10 people pro. Doesn't matter. He might not suit you. You might not even like him. So number one, choose a guy who suits you and you guys get along and you know that you can, or guy or girl, whatever, and you know you can be a team and you can work like crazy good.
Yeah.
So coach is very important. Number 2, budgeting.
Yeah.
Very important. Number 3, organization. Very important. All right. Yeah.
Yep.
Number 4, your training towards the competition is very important. How you structure workouts, how you, like you write down your workouts, all of that is very important when you're getting prepared for competition. Number 5, your nutrition. I mean, come on, you can't beat that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So training and nutrition is 100%, like that's the number 1 and 2, and then other 3 flows with it. That's my 5. What are your 5s?
Number 1, go and watch a competition in person.
100%.
Yeah. I think that's one of the best things that best bits of advice that I think any bodybuilder will probably tell you.
That's awesome.
And I think even if I'd said top 10, you probably would have said that down the line, to be honest.
100%.
Number 1.
No, I do. Yeah. I do. Like it doesn't come across my mind, but when you say it, 100%.
No, exactly.
I agree.
Go watch a competition. Number 2, get yourself a coach that you can build a relationship with. And I think you've already said it a little bit anyway, but like one of the things why you and I gel very well is because you and I are very good friends. We were good friends for 100% for years before before you became my coach. And that's one thing that it's going to go along, because this coach is going to look after your body. It's not a business transaction. It's not just a business transaction. It's a life transaction as well.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
You know, you guys need
100%.
You need to build a relationship and be able to build a relationship with your coach that is beyond just, okay, I'm going to see what my body fat is and all of that. Even my previous coach, Taryn was like almost at some point, she was like a second mother to me, man. You know, amazing coach. She would give me advice on things that are not even related to bodybuilding and stuff. Fantastic coach. And that's the one thing I can recommend to the people listening. Get yourself a decent coach that you're able to build a great relationship with. Number 3, obey your coach.
Yeah.
You know, if you try and cheat or anything, your coach will find out. You know, and if they're honest like Alwin is, they will tell they will tell you.
I remember one time, I think it was 12 weeks out, and I'm giving you the diet and your body's not changing. And you're sending me photos. I'm like, there's something wrong here.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's just, he shouldn't be looking like this.
Yeah.
And then I found out Nash wasn't using a scale.
Yeah.
Is it a scale?
Yeah.
I got super mad, guys. I was so mad.
You were angry, man.
Nash,
you actually told me about it. He's like, bro, you may as well not jump on stage.
Yeah.
Forget it.
But that's what you should be having in a coach. I know me and Nash are really good friends, but when I'm coaching him, I put that friendship aside. Now I'm a coach. You know what I mean? I think it's different.
And I think that's why it's good to build that relationship, because it allows the coach to actually be fully transparent with you.
I always say that because I can't be your friend and I can't coach at the same time. You know, when I'm coaching you, I'm the coach, Alvin. Do you know what I mean? But after that, I'm not even your coach after that. I'm your friend.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? But that period when I'm coaching you, now it's different. Like we switch back gears, you know?
Yeah, bro. No,
so
it's good.
You definitely got to find a coach like that.
Yeah, obey the coach. Yeah, straight up.
Obey the coach. Yeah.
Number 4.
After that, Nash did everything good.
Yeah.
So you say that, you know what I mean?
That was good honesty. I appreciate that.
No, because we're honest in this channel, so we want to make sure that people know this kind of
straight
stuff.
Straight up.
Yeah.
Number 4 is training. Like what I've already just said. Get yourself a training partner that will challenge you. Don't just get anyone who's going to be a yes person to you. If you're I don't care what people think around this perspective. If you're training with someone who is not as strong as you, get yourself a new training partner, or challenge each other to go to be, get better. Because
necessarily it doesn't even have to be strong. It's about the intensity, bro.
Sorry. That's what I mean. That's the perspective I'm going towards.
Exactly. That's what Nash is trying to say. Like, like not everyone's going to be stronger than Nash. Like, to be honest, I'm not strong as Nash, but I still train hard.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like the intensity is different. It's about, if that training partner is not going to push you to that intensity that you should be in a workout, you drop them.
Yeah.
That's exactly what Nash is trying to say. You know?
And I remember you actually gave some really good advice. I think when I was 6 weeks out, 5 weeks out, saying, you know, I know it was probably a little too early to talk about post-comp, but you're encouraging me, saying going into the summer, bro, be really intentional about who you have as training partners. Because those are the people that, you know, will help. That'll be the ones that will set that foundation for your next comp.
Exactly. Like, you know, like, for example, you can't have like, what I mean is, like, you can't have a training partner while you're doing a lat pull down, you're struggling to get 3 reps and he's on the phone on Instagram. No, you can't have people like that. He should be shouting at you.
He should be pushing you.
Get it. Exactly. That's what I mean. If he's on Instagram, tell him to go outside, spin it.
Just drop them. If they're on Instagram, drop them.
You can't have people. You can't have people like that, bro. Seriously.
And I think the last one is really do consider the wider side. The wider, like, you're not defined with bodybuilding. Bodybuilding does not define who you are. Be 100%. Really, you know, you be really intentional about relationships with friends and family. Do not neglect your friends and family. If you're married, don't neglect your spouse. If you're in a relationship, don't neglect your partner, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, whatever. You know, if you don't neglect your siblings, because those are the people that matter in your life. They love you unconditionally, and you love them unconditionally. Don't let bodybuilding become an idolatry thing, because if you do not put the right things or the right boundaries, or if you don't have the right form of accountability around bodybuilding, it could become that. And I've seen it happen to many people who placed bodybuilding as a paramount thing in their lives, and that's the wrong foundation. That's the wrong thing to place at the top of your life. You know, what should be at the top is the most important thing to you, which is, I'm sure it's not bodybuilding. You know, for me, God is the most important thing in my life. You know, followed by 100%. Family, relationships, all of that, serving in 100%. Church, all of those things, you know, and you should always think about what's at the top of your chain. And I'm sure bodybuilding isn't that thing. Yes, it can be a very almighty passion of yours, but if you're now placing that, and then now you're forgetting the people in your life that matter, then what's going to happen if you tear your bicep and you're out for 12 months?
Exactly.
You tear your pec and
who's going to look after you?
You know, it's your family or your friends and stuff.
Right, man.
You know,
100%.
so those are the things that you need to think about. You know, the wider side of things. You know, you have to think about what is the most important in your life. So, yeah.
100. I couldn't not disagree with you there.
Yeah,
that is spot on. 100%. Yeah. But let's put that as another topic as well. One day we'll talk about that as well.
Cool.
You know, I think we've been here for 1.5 hours almost.
Yeah, bro, it's been ages, and you got to go train. So
I got to go train as well. Thank you, guys. Really appreciate your. You know, thank you for everyone who's been supporting us on the channel. This is just a start for us. You know, we have our next episode is going to be with one of our female guests, which you will guys see. I'm not going to say any names. It'll happen soon.
We'll announce it soon. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll announce it soon. But we will have quite a few females joining us as well in the podcast, and we'll have quite a few athletes joining us very soon as well, which will be very good for us as well. So we are actually looking forward to that. So thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. Nash Push Podcast. Go subscribe, like us on Instagram, Spotify, YouTube, and we're gonna bring so much content. Peace out.
Peace out.
God bless you all.
See you later.
See you, bro.